Right, welcome to tonight's meeting. I'd just like to say a few words before we start. Elected Mayor, councillors and officers. I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to the Council Chamber for appointing me last year. Serving as the chair has been both an honour and a privilege. Representing the council has provided a valuable opportunity to engage with the communities and to witness firsthand the outstanding project, services and volunteers across the borough. Thank you. We now go to item 1, which is the nominations for the Chair of Council. Sorry, Councillor Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to move Wendy Lott.
Do you have a seconder?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I'm seconding.
Are there any other nominations? Therefore, Councillor Lott is elected as chair. Oh, sorry. All right. Okay. Sorry, we'll go to the vote.
Chair, can I speak? Can we speak to the nomination, please, as well first?
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. When I moved to vote thanks to Wendy Lott in 2021, I said there would never be another chair quite like Wendy. It turns out I might have misled this chamber. It gives me great pleasure to once again nominate Councillor Wendy Lott to serve as chair of North Tyneside Council for the coming municipal year. Wendy has served the people of North Tyneside with dedication and commitment since first being elected in 2013, first represented the Riverside Ward and now the North Shields. Over that time, she's built a reputation as a hard-working local councillor, a strong advocate for our community, and someone who always approaches public services with warmth and common sense. Members will also know this is not a new role for Wendy. She previously served as chair between 2019 and 2021, a period which included some of the most difficult and unprecedented meetings this authority has ever had to conduct during the COVID pandemic. Throughout that time, Wendy carried out a role of professionalism, calmness, and dignity, helping guide the council through incredibly challenging circumstances while ensuring the meeting continued fairly and respectfully. And it's fair to say, those COVID meetings tested even the most experienced chair. There were moments where managing the mute buttons, removing voting, remote voting, and some members of this chamber attempting to use technology all at the same time probably qualified Wendy for hazard pay. Wendy understands the council and its traditions, understands the importance of treating every member equally, regardless of political background. She brings experience, patience, and no shortage of good humour to the role. And I suspect she may already be uniquely qualified for chairing meetings. Instead of having just one person at home raising his hand to ask permission to speak, she will now have a whole chamber full of them. And in most cases, she can limit them to 5 minutes too. Wendy also knows, just like that at home, when she makes a ruling in this council, the chair's ruling is final. I know Wendy will carry out this important civic role with distinction once again, and I'm very proud to formally nominate Councillor Wendy Lott as chair of North Tyneside Council.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to say to the Mayor, colleagues, and everyone in this chamber, it is a pleasure to second the nomination of Wendy as Chair 26-27. I have known Wendy since 2012 when she got elected, when Norma took office as the mayor, and is a work colleague since 2022 when I got elected as the first Black councillor. Wendy has already proven to be the person who can run the chamber because she chaired during COVID, and it was online and on Teams. And if you can do that, then you can chair anything. Wendy is fun, and we work together in North Shields Ward, but don't take her for granted. She has a great sense of humor, and she is a brilliant ambassador for North Tyneside. She will be a very brilliant ambassador on the chain gang circuit with her husband, Frank. I know she will carry out the role with warmth, fairness, and plenty of style. I can't wait to wear posh frocks going to a chair's events. And I'm proud to second this nomination, and I ask for your support. Thank you.
Right, we're now going to the vote for Councillor Lott. Those in favour?
Open the vote now, please. Members can please vote. Screens. If members have all voted, I'll close the vote.
Yeah, sorry, that's 47 for and 8 abstentions. So therefore it's carried for Councillor Lott. Could I invite Councillor Lott to come and take the chain, please?
Thank you. I didn't quite recognise myself there. Thank you. I, Wendy Lott, having been elected to the office of Chair for the Council of the Borough of North Tyneside, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability. Now move to item 2, election of Deputy Chair for the 2026/27 municipal year. Can I invite nominations for the position of Deputy Chair? Councillor Johnson.
Chair, I'd like to nominate Julie Cruddas. Would you like me to speak now or after the second?
Speak now.
Yeah, perfect. I'm very pleased to nominate Julie Cruddas as Deputy Chair of North Tyneside Council. Julie brings with her a lifetime of experience working and supporting people throughout her time on the council. She's always been someone who leads with compassion, fairness, and a real sense of public service. She's deeply committed to her community and has consistently been a strong voice for residents in Battle Hill and across the borough. On a personal level, Julie's also been a wonderful ward colleague of mine since she was first elected in 2019. I've seen firsthand the commitment she gives to residents, the care she puts into her role, and the way she always approaches the issue with kindness, patience, and common sense. She's someone people trust and someone colleagues enjoy working with. What stands out about Julie is the way she approaches politics. She's thoughtful, approachable, and generally interested in helping people. She's not someone interested in political theatre or point scoring, but in getting things done and treating people properly, and that matters in a role like this. The position of Deputy Chair is an important one. It requires patience, professionalism, and the ability to represent the council and the borough with dignity at civic events and within the chamber. Julie has exactly those qualities, and I know she will carry out this role with great pride. Of course, she'll quickly learn one of the important lessons of civic office in North Tyneside. No matter how carefully the agenda is planned, there's always at least one councillor who thinks their speech is only beginning at the 5-minute mark. And I think it's fair to say that over the next 2 years, all of us in this chamber will need to be on our very best behaviour with Wendy and Julie in the chair, because both of them are more than capable of keeping members firmly in order when needed. Julie will be excellent support as chair of the coming year and a fantastic ambassador for North Tyneside and its communities. It gives me great pleasure to formally nominate Councillor Julie Cruddas as Deputy Chair of the Council.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. Do you have a seconder? Councillor Samuel.
Thank you, and congratulations on your election to Chair. I'd like to second the nomination for Julie Cruddas. Although she's not a ward colleague of mine, we've worked very closely together as I've been Chair of Planning and she's been Deputy. And she's been an incredibly strong support to me in doing that role and shown many of the qualities that Councillor Johnson referred to a minute ago. She has an impeccable sense of duty, and she has an impeccable sense of timekeeping, in that sometimes it has been 1 minute to 6 and she'll arrive then, but she's never ever been late for that committee, and therefore I think she'd be a fine addition to support yourself as in the role of Deputy Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Samuel. Do we have any other nominations? Councillor Johnson? Your mic's not on.
Given the current composition of the new council, I think it's only fair that we should be looking to have an alternative deputy chair. So I'd like to propose Councillor Lewis Bartoli as deputy chair of council.
Second that, Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Because we have two nominations, we'll go to the vote. So we'll vote first for those in favour of Councillor Cruddas.
We'll open the vote now, please. Have all members voted? 38. Councillor.
Those in favour of Councillor Bartoli, vote now.
Has everybody voted? All members have voted. 70. 38.
Councillor Cruddas is elected as Deputy Chair. Thank you. Can you come up, Councillor Cruddas?
Thank you, Chair. I, Julie Cruddas, having been elected to the office of Deputy Chair for the Council of the Borough of North Tyneside, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Item 3 on the agenda, vote of thanks to the retiring chair. I would now like to invite Councillor Louise Bell to propose a vote of thanks to the retiring chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to thank Nigel for being chair of the council for the last year. I know from speaking to Nigel, he has attended many events representing the borough. I know he is very proud of being chair of the council, and all good chairs need a good consort. On a personal level, I was elected in 2024 alongside Nigel. I was an inexperienced councillor. Nigel has offered me great support, always approachable, and has given me advice with the knowledge he holds. Even though Nigel has been busy as chair, he has always attended ward surgeries, supported colleagues and represented residents. Nigel's chosen charity is Tiny Lives, and he has raised £11,622 over the past year. This is a great achievement and will benefit the charity greatly.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Samuel? Formally, right, thank you. The leaders of the political groups may speak at this point. Thank you, Councillor Johnson.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Lott. Congratulations to you and Councillor Cruddas on taking up Chair and Vice Chair of the Council. On behalf of the Conservative Group, I just wanted to thank Nigel sincerely for all the hard work that he's put in over the last 12 months as Chair of Council. Nigel, you presided over meetings with patience, professionalism, and the expression of a man constantly wondering how exactly his life choices have led him to this point at times. And as you leave the chair, you do it quite a moment in North Tyneside politics. Reform, welcome, are now the main opposition in the council. We've also got our new Green colleagues here. Welcome to you as well. And the chamber is beginning to look a lot less like a council meeting and more like the casting process for a very confusing political reality show. Through all of that, you've somehow managed to keep meetings moving, keep things in order, and on very rare occasions, you've even kept our very own Councillor Bones quiet, which frankly deserves recognition in itself. We as councillors might only see the Chair of Council once every 8 weeks in this chamber, but I'm aware of how much work you've put in with your wife throughout the year. You've been out and about in communities representing all of us across North Tyneside. That side of the role often goes unseen, but it's hugely appreciated, Nigel. I think it's fair to say the role of chair often requires the patience of a saint, the disciplines of a school teacher, and occasionally the survival instincts of a hostage negotiator. You've handled it all well with good humour throughout. Thank you again for your service to the council and to the borough. We all wish you and your wife well, all the very best in the future, and hope you now enjoy the luxury of sitting in the chamber without having to repeatedly tell grown adults to behave themselves. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Johnson. Councillor Smith?
I would just like to thank Councillor Huscroft for the work that he's done over the past year. As a brand new councillor last year, I found it to be very, very supportive and very helpful. So it's just a personal thanks from myself.
Councillor Wallace.
Thank you, Chairman. Congratulations upon your appointment. I'd just like to add my thanks to Councillor Huscroft for the calm, professional and dignified way in which he has conducted the council meetings over the course of the last year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wallace. I'll get used to this, Mike. Would anybody from the Green Party like to express a vote of thanks, or Councillor Mackenzie Bell? No. You don't have to. Okay, thank you. I would like to start by thanking Councillor Nigel Huscroft for chairing the council for the last municipal year. He has chaired council meetings with skill, care and fairness, as he set out to do when he first took up the office. Thanks very much, Nigel. You've done it with a great deal of dignity. I would also like to extend my congratulations to all members who have been elected to the council or re-elected to the council. It is an honour and a privilege for us all to represent the residents of the borough, but with that comes responsibility and an expectation that certain principles will be upheld. There are quite a few new councillors, and I do apologise if I do not refer you by name during the first few meetings, but I will do my best to get to know the names of all new members as quickly as possible. So if I say hi, it could be anybody over there, but I won't. I will be inviting the group leaders and deputy leaders to meet with me in the next few weeks so that I can explain what I would like from them as leaders and what they can expect from me as chair of the council. Councillor Huscroft, would you like to make a response?
Thank you, Chair. Obviously, during my time of office, I chose to support Tiny Lives as my chosen charity. And as already been mentioned, I'm delighted to announce that they'll be receiving £11,622 towards the vital work which they do. I'd like to thank everyone who supported this amazing cause over the year. I'd also like to express my sincere appreciation to all officers who have supported me in the past year, with particular thanks to colleagues in Democratic Services and the Legal Services for their guidance and assistance, both in preparing for the meeting and during the meeting, and certainly during the meeting that kept us straight. Finally, I'd like to wish you all the best to yourself, Councillor Lott, and express every success for the year ahead.
Thanks, Councillor Huscroft. Can we now move on to item 4, apologies? I've received apologies from Councillor Clough, Councillor John Harrison and Councillor Joanne Shaw. Mr. One. Apologies. First of all, before we move on with the council business, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the recent passing of Councillor Angela Potter, who was a councillor for the Valley Ward from 1998 to 2008. I invite everyone present to join me in observing a minute's silence as we reflect on her life and contribution to the people of North Tyneside. Back to the agenda again. Item 4, apologies. I've received apologies from Councillor Paula Clough, Councillor John Harrison and Councillor Joanne Shaw. Do we have any further apologies? Councillor Johnson?
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Liam Bones and Councillor Dr. Ollie Scargill. Thank you.
Move on to item 5, declarations of interest dispensations. Can I remind members, if they have any registrable and or non-registrable interests in matters appearing on the agenda and the nature of the interest, they must verbally declare in respect of any items of business to be discussed at this meeting and the nature of such interests. You are also invited to disclose any dispensation from the requirement to declare any registrable and or non-registrable interests that have been granted to you in respect of any matters appearing on the agenda. Do you have any matters, declarations?
Congratulations.
Councillor Ross.
Thank you. Congratulations, Chair. Item number 11, I've got a non-registrable personal interest, so I'll have to leave.
Thank you. Have you filled the card in? Thanks very much. Thank you. Do you have any further declarations of interest? No. Item 6, minutes. Can I ask the council to confirm the minutes of the meeting held on the 12th of March 2026? The minutes have previously been circulated. Agreed. Thank you. Item 7, return of local elections, 7th of May 2028. It has been brought to my attention that the elected councillor for Whitley Bay North has been listed as Helen Mackenzie. However, this should state Helen Mackenzie Bell. Can I ask the council to receive the return of councillors following the local elections held on the 7th of May 2026, which is attached to the council agenda? Can I congratulate and welcome those councillors who were newly elected and those who were re-elected to the council? Thank you. Item 8, address by the elected mayor, including cabinet composition and delegation scheme. Details of the cabinet members and their portfolios for 2026-27, together with details of the Mayor's scheme of delegation to Cabinet members, have been circulated to members. I would now like to invite Karen Clark, elected Mayor, to address the Council.
Thank you, Chair, and congratulations on your appointment as Chair, and congratulations to Councillor Cruddas on appointment as Deputy Chair. Details of the Cabinet portfolio area and responsibilities have been circulated, as stated by the Chair, in the Council chamber this evening for your interest. I look forward to working with Cabinet and know that they will be as determined as I am to achieve and deliver on our priorities for our residents. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Item 9, leaders of political groups. Can I ask for the names of the leaders of each of the political groups to be announced? Labour Group, Councillor Johnson.
Elected Mayor Karen Clark, who is the leader of the Labour Group.
Greens. Mackenzie Bell.
Councillor, how do you like to be addressed? Is it Councillor Mackenzie Bell or Councillor Bell? Thank you very much.
The Conservative Group.
Yes, Chair, myself, Councillor John Johnson as leader of the group and Councillor Lewis Bartoli as the deputy leader. Thank you.
And the Reform Group.
Thanks, Chair. I'm being the group leader for Reform.
Councillor Brian Smith. Thank you. And the Conservatives jumped the gun because I'm now going to ask who the deputies are. Can I ask for names of the deputy leaders of each of the political groups, please? Labour Group.
Councillor Carl Johnson will be the deputy leader of the Labour Group.
And the Greens.
Maybe not a surprise, but that's me, Councillor Osborne.
The Conservatives is.
Okay, it's Councillor Bartoli.
And the Reform Group.
Hi, I'm going to be the deputy.
And your name? Sorry.
Richard Hall. Councillor Richard Hall.
Richard. Thank you. Now, item 11, the annual review of the Constitution. Agenda pages 11172. In relation to the officer delegation scheme, it was brought to officers' attention that due to a technical issue, the track changes had not been pulled through to this report on the agenda. A supplementary agenda was circulated on the 13th of May 2026, which detailed the proposed changes to the officer delegation scheme. Can I invite Councillor Carl Johnson to move the recommendations as set out in the report?
Thank you, Chair. As all local authorities are required to have a constitution, document which covers a range of important governance matters. It sets out the authority's approach to decision making, delegated processes, standing orders, and our code of conduct for elected members. North Tyneside Council's constitution is reviewed at least annually, and there's an established process for this review. A politically balanced constitution task group is convened to look at every proposed change in detail. The constitution task group is supported by officers who give professional advice regarding all suggested changes which have been put forward. Following the most recent review, the task group agreed that a number of changes are necessary to ensure the constitution is up to date and that these changes should go forward to annual council for a decision. In the report before council this evening, these proposals are set out in some detail. The changes reflect the legal requirements which must be complied with and good practice which has been recommended to the authority to ensure that our constitution remains up to date and fit for purpose. It is recommended that all changes set out in the report before council this evening are agreed. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Do you have a seconder?
Yes, I'll second that. Thank you.
Do we have any questions? No questions. I'll now invite members to speak to the report. What do you want to say out? Does the mover of the report wish to exercise a right of reply? No, thank you. We'll now go to the vote. Those in favour?
I ask all members to vote now, please. When the system works, please bear with us. There we go. If all members have voted, I will, still a few come through. Is that everybody? All members have voted, I'll close the vote.
That's unanimous. Thank you. Item 12, annual appointments 2026-27. Can I invite the elected mayor to move the recommendations?
Thank you, Chair. This report requests Council approve the appointments to its various committees and subcommittees for the 2026-27 municipal year, which will be provided by the monitoring officer, or does that still stand, or have we received them? They've been circulated, so you should have received them. That includes the allocation of seats to political groups and the appointment of chairs and deputy chairs. It also sets out the appointment of representatives to serve on non-executive outside bodies. I ask Council to approve the recommendations as set out in section 1.2 of the report.
Do you have a seconder?
Second and reserve the right to speak, Chair.
Again, are there any other nominations for the roles of chairs and deputy chairs of committees? If there are, I will deal with these committee by committee ahead of the discussion and of asking Council to vote on the remainder of the recommendations made in the report. Please, can you make any alternative nominations now? In making your nominations, please only provide the name of the committee, whether it's for the role of chair or deputy chair or that committee, and the alternative councillor to be nominated. I do not expect speeches at this point on alternative nominations. Councillor Bartoli.
Councillor Ian McAlpine for the Chair of Planning Committee and Councillor Dave Lilly for the Deputy Chair of the Family Friendly Subcommittee.
Okay. Right, so we'll go to the vote. We've got two nominations for Chair of Planning Committee. The first one being Councillor Jim Montague. So those in favour of Jim Montague, can you vote now, please?
I'll open the vote. If you can please vote now. All members voted. I'll close the vote.
Now, can we go to the vote, please, for Councillor McAlpine?
All members have voted. Close the vote.
Councillor Montague is elected as Chair of Planning. Now, can we go to the vote for the Vice Chair of the Family Friendly Subcommittee? So we have Councillor Sarah Day. Do you have any other nominations? Or was
Yes.
David Lilly? So we'll go to the vote first for Councillor Sarah Day.
Open the vote, please, and please vote now. All members have voted. I'll close the vote.
Go to the vote for Councillor Lilly.
All members have voted. I'll close the vote.
Councillor Day has the nomination, so therefore she's elected. Thank you. Labour nominations to outside bodies have been circulated. Are there any other nominations for the appointments of representatives to outside bodies? If there are, I will deal with these one by one ahead of the discussion and of asking Council to vote on the remainder of the recommendations made in the report. Please can you make any alternative nominations now? And in making your nominations, please only provide the name of the body and the alternative councillor to be nominated. I don't expect speeches at this point on alternative nominations. Please be aware that following a review of the political balance, the Joint Overview and Scrutiny Committee for the North East and North Cumbria Integrated Care System and North and Central Integrated Care Partnerships has a requirement for 2 seats to be allocated to the Labour group and 1 seat to the Reform group. Substitute members will be required in the same numbers, and this does not apply to any of the other outside bodies. So, nominations form.
So there's been circulated around the table a list of nominations from the Labour group, which you should have on your table. The only other nominations I'm expecting, unless other groups have got some to put forward, are in relation to that's Joint Overview and Scrutiny Committee for the North East and North Cumbria Care Integrated System and North and Central Integrated Care Partnership, which requires some nominations from the Reform group, but I understand you're not ready yet. So if you could provide them by noon tomorrow, if possible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, so we'll just go to the vote on what's been circulated. Those in favour?
All members can vote now, please. All members have voted. I'll close the vote. So the appointments are carried.
Appointments are carried. Thank you.
So, sorry.
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah.
return.
And now returning to the report, are there any questions? None? This is good. I now invite members to speak to the report. Nope. Does the mover of the report wish to exercise a right to reply?
No, Chair, just to ask Council to approve the recommendations outlined in the report.
Go to the vote, have we not just voted? All right.
This
Right,
is on
can
the
we-
substantive
yeah.
report.
Can we go to the vote, please?
So members are voting on the remainder of the recommendations that are contained in the report, not the appointments, because there are other recommendations contained in that report. So we can vote now, please. It's carried.
The report is carried. Thank you. Can we move on to item 13, the annual report of overview and scrutiny 2025-26. I would like to invite the chair of the Overview and Scrutiny Coordination and Finance Committee for 2025-26, Councillor Jim Montague, to present the report. Thank you.
Thanks, Chair, and congratulations. Pleased to introduce the Overview and Scrutiny Annual Report before you for 25-26. In May 2023, Council agreed a new committee structure for scrutiny in North Tyneside. This reflects good practice recommended by the Centre for Governance and Scrutiny. The report before Annual Council this evening is the third annual report under the new Scrutiny Committee structure. It provides a summary of the work of the Overview and Scrutiny Coordination and Finance Committee and its 5 subcommittees during the years 25-26. The report describes the wide breadth of topics which have been considered under our scrutiny function over the last year. Scrutiny is intended to support good decision making by local authorities. The new committees have worked hard to develop scrutiny and to implement good practice highlighted by the Centre for Governance and Scrutiny in 2024. In particular, we've sought to develop our focus as a critical friend, and this should continue into 2026-27. As chair of the Overview or as I was chair of the Overview Scrutiny Coordination and Finance Committee during 25-26, I would like to thank elected members, co-opted members, officers and representatives of our partner organisations for their support and contributions to the scrutiny process over the past year. And I'd like to congratulate the new chair of Overview Scrutiny, Finance and Coordination. Council is recommended to note the annual report.
Thank you, Councillor Montague. Do you have any questions? I'll now invite members to speak to the report. Councillor Johnson.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just to thank Jim, Councillor Montague, for all of his work this year. You've been a very good chair, and I think it's had some good discussions in the group, so thank you for your work.
Nobody? Thank you, Councillor Montague, for the report. Item 14, Standards Committee Annual Report 25-26. I would like to invite the Deputy Chair. He's now the Chair of the Standards Committee for 2025-26, Councillor Eddie Dawk, to present the report.
First of all, congratulations to both you, Julie, for the chairmanship. Under the Standards Committee has prepared an annual report for 2025-26 municipal year. That was under the stewardship of Frank Love, who I'd like to thank him for his services to the committee over the last few years. The report sets out the work undertaken by the Standards Committee and its subcommittees over the year. The committee met on 3 occasions and has dealt with various matters, which are detailed in the work programme 25-26 at the Annex 1 to the report. In addition, the Standards Subcommittee met 2 occasions. The committee will consider its work programme at 26-27 at its first meeting in the end of May. The annual report considered by the Standards Committee at its meeting on the 2nd of April 26 and is referred to the Council for information and recommendations to note and receive.
Thank you, Councillor Dawk. Do you have any questions? I now invite members to speak to the report. Councillor Bartoli.
Thank you. I just want to echo the words of Councillor Dawk, thanking Councillor Frank for his work over the last years on standards. I've been on that committee. He's quite a formidable chair and he's going to be a big miss of the chairman. So I commend the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bartoli. Thanks, Councillor Dawk, for your report. Item 15, the whistleblowing policy for members. Can I invite Councillor Mayor Clark, to move the recommendations as set out in the report?
Thank you, Chair. The Authority Standards Committee has within its terms of reference responsibility for reviewing the whistleblowing policy for elected members. The policy was last updated in 2017. A review of the policy has been undertaken by the Standards Committee of the Authority to ensure it is fully up to date with the current legal position and to ensure that it remains fit for purpose. The Standards Committee agreed that it should be presented to Council for approval. The Public Office Accountability Bill is currently undergoing the legislative process, and if the bill becomes law, it will impose a duty of candour on elected members, and this new duty may require amendments to be made to the policy. Therefore, authorisation is also sought for the monitoring officer, in consultation with the chair of the Standards Committee, to make amendments to the policy to reflect legislative changes should this be required. To ensure that the policy remains fit for purpose and up to date, it is recommended that the policy is approved and authority is given for amendments to be made in line with legislative changes should this be required. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mayor Clark. Do you have a seconder?
Thank you, Chair. Second and reserve the right to speak, please.
Do we have any questions? No questions. I now invite members to speak to the report. Does the mover of the report wish to exercise a right to reply? No.
No, Chair, just to agree the recommendations in the report. Thank you.
We'll now go to the vote.
And ask all members to vote, please. Thank you. I'll close the vote now.
The motion's carried. Thank you. And now we go to Chair's announcements. I'm here. I'm done. No, first of all, thank you for this nomination and the opportunity to be chair again. I've chosen the Alan Shearer Foundation for my charity. It's a charity that's widely used across the whole of the region, and it's used to massively, so much so that the facilities they have don't suffice and they're not up to date. He's trying to raise £1 million to put in a new hydrotherapy pool. And I'm sure you'll all know that there's an Alan Shearer Foundation beer. So if you drink plenty of it, he'll raise his money to get his pool, the hydrotherapy pool, which is available to all children across the borough, and it's greatly used. So that is, and I will be having loads of events across the year. So dig deep, put your hands in your pockets, don't be tight. I know times are hard, but it's for a good cause. So everybody will be invited. So I'm not singling people out. Everyone will be invited to events. So thank you and look forward to seeing you about. And I'll get your names eventually. Okay, thank you. Item 17, can I now invite the elected mayor to make announcements?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to begin this evening by thanking Councillor Nigel Huscroft and his consort Veronica for the outstanding work they've undertaken over the past year. They've really represented our borough with great pride and dedication, and as we've already heard, raised over £11.6 thousand for Tiny Lives, a local charity that supports and champions premature and sick newborn babies and their families across the North East and North Cumbria. This is a significant achievement and a real credit to them both, reflecting the generosity and strong community spirit for which North Tyneside is known. I would like to thank our Deputy Chairman, Councillor Tracy Hallway, and her consort, Councillor Stephen Phillips, for their commitment and contribution throughout the year. And of course, I would like to extend formally my warmest congratulations to Councillor Wendy Lott on her appointment as Chair of North Tyneside Council. I am confident that Councillor Lott will undertake this important civic role with distinction, and I wish her every success in the year ahead. I very much look forward to seeing and hearing about the work and initiatives Wendy will champion. Congratulations also formally to Councillor Julie Cruddas on her appointment as Deputy Chair. This evening also provides an opportunity to acknowledge those members who are no longer councillors following the recent elections. We recognise and thank them for their service, dedication and the valuable contribution they have made to their communities and to North Tyneside, and I wish them all well. I would also like to warmly welcome those members who've been re-elected and those who are new to North Tyneside Council. Our residents have placed their trust in you to represent them, and I look forward to working together to undertake our roles and responsibility with pride, integrity, and a strong commitment to public service. As we move ahead, can I thank all of our hardworking teams across the Council, from the Chief Executive and Senior Leadership team, to those delivering services on the front line, those working behind the scenes to ensure our buildings and services run smoothly. Your professionalism and dedication are essential to the effective running of this Council. Please know that your efforts are sincerely appreciated. As we begin a new Council year, I'm determined that the Cabinet and the wider Council will build on our achievements and continue to deliver the outcomes that matter most to our residents. With the support of this Council, we can turn our shared ambitions for North Tyneside into reality. And as I stated earlier, I sincerely hope all members will work constructively together in pursuit of that goal. We will continue to work together with our residents, our partners, with regional and national government to get the best deals for North Tyneside, to build on our past successes, while also reflecting on how we adapt and grow to meet the changing needs of our communities and, of course, the challenges we face. Finally, I want to reassure the residents of North Tyneside that I will continue to work to the very best of my abilities for everyone who lives in our borough, ensuring that North Tyneside not only remains a great place to live, work and visit, but becomes an even better one going forward into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Clark. Thank you for all your attendance. That concludes tonight's annual council meeting. Thank you.